What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Salita. Salita is the promoter of Otto Wallin, and he said this: Otto Wallin makes the most sense for Anthony Joshua's next fight. Dmitry Salita, the promoter for heavyweight contender Otto Wallin, is beating the drum for his boxer to face former two-time world champion Anthony Joshua. Wallin gave current WBC world champion Tyson Fury a lot of trouble back in 2019, which saw Fury sustain two severe cuts above his eye. Last weekend in Saudi Arabia, Josh lost, of course, to Usyk, and Joshua's looking to make a quick comeback to the ring, which dates in December being explored. Salita was impressed by Joshua's performance. He says, based on this performance, it looks like Joshua has got a lot of big fights left. The one that makes the most sense as his next one is Otto Wallin, especially if Tyson Fury, Usyk in December, and Joshua did a great job. He is still improving as a fighter. Looks like Robert Garcia and the rest of them helped breathe new life into him, said Salita. He said Otto gave Tyson Fury the hardest fight of his career, landed more punches than Vladimir Klitschko and the first Wilder fight put together. Otto Wallin has gotten better and has 4 wins since that match. If Tyson is fighting Usyk in December and Joshua wants to show that he belongs in the elite conversation, there is no better measuring stick for both objectively than Otto Wallin. Otto wants another shot at Tyson and get to Tyson to seem that they both need each other. Salita believes mental pressure of last week's rematch was too much for Joshua to handle, which led to a post-fight rant Joshua on the arena. Let me stop there. Would that be a good fight? Yeah. Does that fight make sense? Yeah, it does. Why? Because Otto Wallin gave Tyson Fury problems. Otto Wallin has not lost since he lost to Tyson Fury. He was an undefeated fighter before stepping in there with Fury, and after Fury, he hasn't lost since. And he gave Fury a lot of problems. He busted up Fury's eye pretty bad, very bad actually. Should have been stopped. Everybody knows that. However, Otto Wallin has done some good things. He's also beat a common opponent in Dominic Brazil, and Anthony Joshua was the first one that snatched the O away from Dominic Brazil. Deontay Wilder was the second, and he comes in third. So he's bronze in that category with that particular fighter. Now, him saying if Joshua wants to be on the elite level, he needs to fight Otto Wallin. I don't think that's the case. Because Otto Wallin, he's not on the bottom barrel level, but I wouldn't call him an elite level, no. But of course we're talking about Dmitry Salita, the promoter of Otto Wallin. So of course he's going to look and talk to his fighter as though his fighter is an elite level fighter. But then here's the thing, he very well might be. It's just he hasn't been in there. But I definitely tells you he deserves to share the ring with Tyson Fury because he gave Tyson Fury problems. If you can give a fighter problems, that means you deserve to be in that same ring as him. Now, should that fight happen? Yes, it should happen because there's really nobody else available. Andy Ruiz, Ortiz, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Helenius. So there's not a lot of people left for him to fight anyway. Okay, so I think the Otto Wallin fight would be a good fight, and this also tells me that Dmitry Salita is putting everything on the line to get Otto Wallin this shot. Okay, because they're talking about getting back to fight Tyson Fury. Yes, that's if you get past Anthony Joshua, because as you heard him talking about Joshua and the improvements that he made. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be a very big challenge for his fighter, Otto Wallin. Okay? So I think, this is a gamble, but this is what it's about. That's what a promoter's supposed to do, get you the hardest fights or the best fights. And don't get it twisted, people. They know if they're fighting Anthony Joshua, they're making more money that they've made with anybody else. And that's if he's a champion or not a champion. That really don't matter. You know, we'll see. We'll test that test once he fights again without being a champion, being a former two-time champion, and then we can see how much the salaries are for his opponents. That's the only way to tell. Okay? But I think, you know, besides that, if I was just had to educate the guests of that, I would say that Otto Wallin is being pushed by his manager, Dmitry Salita, for that fight because it's the biggest money fight that you can possibly have. And if you had that fight, you know, well, hey, Joshua he can't afford to lose another fight. You know what I mean? So they know that they're putting their fighter in jeopardy of getting knocked the fuck out. But they also know that will be the fight that they need in order to succeed with the amount of money that they plead. Bars. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Dmitry Salita stating that Otto Wallin makes the most sense for Anthony Joshua's next fight. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!